Joining me on the broadcast, viewers, is a very, very special guest I have with me. Let's put it out on our screens. There you have it. Tania Sachdev joining us on NewsX. She's an Indian chess player who holds the FIDE titles of International Master and Woman Grandmaster. She's also a prominent chess presenter as well as commentator. Tania, thank you so much for taking our time to speak to NewsX. I, of course, begin by giving you our heartiest, heartfelt congratulations on, of course, your own victory, but also the double victory that all of India is celebrating. What does it feel like, Tania?
Thank you so much. It feels amazing, but to be completely honest, I think the feeling is still sinking in. We're all still processing everything that's happened over the last couple of days. It's truly a special moment for many of us on the team. It's been a dream for many, many years and many chess Olympics, and finally to have it happen, and in the way it happened, having both the men and women team on the podium, a historic double gold. There are only two countries in the history of the game who managed to do that. India is the third. So it's really a beautiful moment for all of us.
So, Tania, just explain to us. I mean, of course, every time one does go for a tournament of this stature, the expectation is that you will win gold. And now that you've finally done it, do you feel something was a little different about this time around?
Well, in the Chess Olympics, you've got more than 180 countries participating in the men and the women section. So it's really the peak of competition, the highest, the biggest stage. I would say that there are no real favorites, and there are some teams who have very strong players, but every round is incredibly tough. Every match is incredibly tough. Every team goes there with the idea of finishing with glory for their nation, to finish on the podium, and it's really a big moment, and it's I think the big challenge is to deal with the pressure as well, the nerves as well, apart from the fact that you're playing against the strongest chess nations in the world. So definitely feels very special to finally deliver it, because we've come so close to doing it. I've been in the national team since 2008. Harika's been in the national team even longer than I have. And then we have come so close to being on the podium, including in the Chennai 2022 Olympiad, and it almost felt like the gold was snatched from our hands. So I think this time we all just had one mission on our minds.
Absolutely. At the same time, Tania, it would be interesting to understand from you what sort of mental training do you yourself or your teammates go through, because we end up talking to a lot of sportsmen who are into very vigorously physical sports. But chess is, of course, all about the mind, keeping the mind very calm, very clear. So what really is the training like? What's a day in your life like when you're training?
Well, when we've got a tournament coming up, especially a tournament like the Chess Olympic or a big event, I think each one of us has our own schedule and our own routine, which goes back many months before preceding the event itself. A large part of it is chess training itself, where you're analyzing different kind of positions, you're working on your openings, you're working on your middle game, all aspects of the game. You're trying to see where you've been going wrong in the previous tournaments. Are there any patterns that you can recognize where you need work to make sure the same mistakes don't happen again? In the bigger picture, the idea is to make sure that when you reach the event, when you're there to play, your mind, your brain is at its sort of best shape, that you're able to calculate as far ahead, as quickly ahead. And I think many times what people also underestimate is the value of physical fitness in an ultimate mind sport like chess.
Absolutely, 100%. How do you go about that? How do you balance it out? What are your coaches really? That's what I'm trying to understand. What really is the mindset like? How do you train yourselves physically, of course, to be fit? And how does that work into where your mental strength is at?
So a chess game can last for anything between 4 to 6 hours, especially at high competition levels. And, mistakes mistakes happen over the board around the second, third hour. That's when the brain starts tiring itself out. So mental stamina, mental endurance is of primary importance to make sure that you're taking all these correct decisions in these critical moments, these high pressure situations. And that's really only possible at this level, where a single mistake can be so costly, is if your body and you have a certain level of physical fitness. So apart from working for about 6 to 8 hours on the game itself, on chess training itself, there's also a fitness routine that's incorporated months in advance, just to make sure that you have the endurance and you have the mental stamina to be able to go the distance, because it's really those critical moments where games and victories get decided on.
Tania, at the same time, I'm sure in the moment there are setbacks, right? Of course, when you're doing a simulation back home, you still have the ability to learn from it. And of course, even at a tournament, one always learns from their mistakes. But like you pointed out, that's a pretty much a do or die situation, right? Because it's your position in the tournament. And when you face those sort of setbacks there, how do you snap out of it?
This is the one thing that I think I'm extremely proud of what happened in Budapest, because so the men team were supremely dominating. They were unstoppable. They were completely untouchable. They ran away with the gold. But it was a very different scenario for my team, for the women team. We had a fantastic run up till 7 matches. We won each of our match. And then in the 8th match, we had a setback. We lost to Poland in that match.
Yes.
And I think that is the most difficult moment in a tournament, because things are going your way, but then it doesn't. And you have to come back, because chess is not a knockout sport. You have to go the next day. You have to fight it out. You still have a chance. So to change that mindset at that moment and to not let the disappointment get to you and get ready to give the best the very next day is very important. We were playing the USA, and this is the team that, sort of took away our gold in 2022, because we lost to the US in the very last round in Chennai. So after our loss to Poland this year, we are playing against the US, which I think motivated us even more, because for us in our mind, we wanted to go out there, we wanted to make a comeback in the match. What was amazing to see was this positive energy in the team, where we didn't let the loss get to us, and we also sort of wanted to set the record straight from what had happened in Chennai. We managed to get past that match. We sailed through that match, and then we had these 2 fantastic victories in the final round. And it really shows a lot of strength of character in sports to come back from these setbacks. Experience matters a lot, but I think the youth also shone in that aspect in this time, because they were really able to recover and give their best the next day. Everyone has their own routine of dealing with a difficult situation. It happens to every athlete, but you just have to get back up there and give your best.
And Tania, at the same time, everybody, of course, wants to also know and understand, how did you get into the sport of chess? What really motivated you?
It's a long story. I'll try to make it as short as possible. Well, it started as something that was, I would say, never meant to be my career. I come from Delhi, and in Delhi, when I started playing, I was 6 years old. My dad was trying to teach my brother how to play. I got interested in the game. I was very enamored by this board I was seeing in front of me and how the pieces move. And then I'm told that after that day of watching them sort of learn chess through a rule book, I would walk around the whole house with a chessboard in my hand, and any visitor we would have would only be allowed to enter the house after they would play a game of chess with me. So my parents thought that was quite strange, but also something to look into. They found sort of a local coach. They were very far and few, and there was really no chess culture in Delhi at the time. And they found a local coach who would come in, and I had all these hobby classes. Chess became one of them, but they slowly saw that that was the only thing that I would want to do. It started taking more of my time. It was something that would keep my attention for hours. They figured, I think for every athlete, when they start at that age, really the biggest role is played by their family and by their support system, because a child doesn't know much. So it really comes on to them, and I'm very blessed that I have parents who were able to see that and were able to put that to good use. And before I knew it, I was playing in tournaments. In fact, I remember my first tournament. I lost all my games. It was in a state level tournament. I was 7 years old, and I was playing in an open event. I had 0 out of 11. But instead of getting demotivated at that point, I wanted to play my next tournament. I wanted to win a game. And I think that made them feel that there's something here. And they just really encouraged it.
Tania, thank you so much. But before we let you go, one last quick question. What's going to be your message to young players out there who want to take up chess? And the reason why I asked that is because, you know, as you've also said, your parents took an interest. They saw that you have an interest, so they took the initiative, got you a local coach. But over the years, we've seen the infrastructure sort of transform, and lots of parents actually taking a keen interest. But I'm sure when wins like this happen on a global stage, when they see young girls like yourself bringing back those medals home, they want to see their kids in that position one day. So what will be your message to parents and young kids who want to follow in your footsteps?
You know, that's a dream, right, for all of us, that we get to do what we love. We get to follow our passion, play for the country, and hopefully along the way inspire young boys and girls to do the same. And I think in today's time, the young generation, they're so smart. They already know so many things, and, you know, they grow up very quickly. So I think to them, I don't have that much to say, because I really feel that they know what they want to do. But I have something to say to the people around them, the support system around them, that let them fly, let them pursue their passions. And, you know, you just never know where that takes you.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.